Climate policy frameworks and international agreements form the structural foundation of global responses to climate change. They shape the strategies through which states pursue mitigation, adaptation, and sustainable development, while defining the institutional architecture that governs climate action across regions. Climate governance operates through a complex interaction between international commitments and national policy systems. While industrialized regions have developed comprehensive regulatory frameworks, developing countries face the challenge of aligning climate objectives with economic growth and social development priorities. This creates a differentiated landscape in which policy ambition and implementation capacity are unevenly distributed. The European Union represents one of the most advanced models of climate governance. Its policy architecture is anchored in the European Green Deal, which aims to achieve climate neutrality by 2050 through coordinated action across energy, transport, and industrial systems. The emissions trading system functions as a central market-based mechanism, incentivizing cost-effective emission reductions across thousands of installations. This model demonstrates how regulatory frameworks and market instruments can be integrated into a coherent climate strategy. In contrast, climate policy in the United States has been shaped by political variability. Recent policy developments signal renewed federal engagement, particularly through large-scale investments in renewable energy, energy efficiency, and carbon capture technologies. These measures indicate a shift toward more structured climate action, while also highlighting the influence of political cycles on policy continuity. China presents a distinct pathway characterized by state-led planning and large-scale implementation. Its national strategy combines long-term targets for emissions reduction with industrial transformation and technological development. The introduction of a national carbon market represents a significant transition toward market-based governance mechanisms within a centrally coordinated system. In developing regions, climate policy is often embedded within broader development strategies. National frameworks integrate climate objectives with priorities such as economic growth, agricultural sustainability, and energy access. This approach reflects the necessity of aligning environmental goals with immediate socio-economic needs, resulting in hybrid policy models that combine adaptation and mitigation within a single developmental trajectory. Despite the expansion of policy frameworks, significant challenges remain in implementation. Financial constraints limit the ability to invest in infrastructure and long-term resilience. Weak governance structures reduce policy continuity and institutional effectiveness. Limited technical capacity constrains the design, monitoring, and enforcement of climate strategies. These structural barriers highlight the gap between policy formulation and practical execution. At the same time, developing countries possess unique opportunities for innovation. Technological leapfrogging allows the adoption of decentralized and mobile-based energy systems without reliance on legacy infrastructure. International mechanisms, including climate finance and collaborative partnerships, provide critical support for implementation. Capacity-building initiatives further contribute to the development of local expertise and institutional strength. The global landscape of climate governance reveals both asymmetry and interdependence. Advanced economies deploy large-scale financial and technological resources, while developing regions navigate constraints through adaptive and integrative approaches. The effectiveness of climate policy depends on the alignment of three core elements: governance, finance, and technical capacity. These components form an interdependent system in which weakness in one dimension limits the performance of the whole. When governance structures are transparent and accountable, financial resources are mobilized effectively, and technical expertise is developed, climate policy can generate transformative outcomes. Conversely, misalignment between these elements leads to fragmentation and underperformance, even when policy frameworks are formally in place. Policy frameworks and international agreements therefore play a decisive role not only in defining global climate ambition, but in structuring the conditions under which that ambition can be realized. Different regional models illustrate multiple pathways toward decarbonization, while developing countries demonstrate how climate strategies can be integrated within broader development agendas. The central challenge is not the absence of policy, but the capacity to implement it effectively. Strengthening institutions, expanding financial mechanisms, and investing in technical expertise remain critical priorities. International cooperation and cross-sector collaboration are essential for bridging capacity gaps and ensuring equitable progress in global climate governance.